into everything.
As the duelists are getting ready for game number 1 here, we're just getting confirmation, and it's on game number 1 for our round 12 feature match.
Yep, and you can tell the tension is high. The stakes have never been higher. This is the final round of Swiss before you get top 64. First roll's a 7 there for Joshua. Da Vinci is rolling 9.
I will choose to go first. Go on.
Proudly declare that beautiful handshake, and now our players are getting ready to draw their opening hands and duel.
Go on.
Da Vinci going first here. Choosing for that with Mitsurugi, Ryzeal. We've seen this deck a few times on the feature matches. Everyone's got their own subtle variations of the deck here, but prayers is one of the best ways to start.
No tribute.
Certainly one of the most important rounds of these duelist life because, again, they are so close to getting to the top 64, and they both still might, but win and in feels pretty good as we use Mitsurugi prayers to add Habakiri to the hand.
Yep, we're not going to be paying any 800 because we did not summon, so we're just going to be adding. This Habakiri could get the rest of the Mitsurugi engine going.
Important to do that in the draw phase, so your opponent cannot draw and lockbird you. And now we're in the main phase here for the Habakiri effect.
Yep, and this is the ever powerful once per duel effect. Let you summon a monster from the deck and then tribute a card. We're
Saji.
going to tribute that said Saji, and now Saji's effect on tribute will let you search for any Mitsurugi spell card. That might be the ever so faithful Mitsurugi ritual.
Got a little bit of a peek at Joshua's hand. Don't see too much interaction, but plenty of starters.
Oh, but hey, there you go.
Draw and lock where Kangas was totally right. That card is everywhere in this format, and now Da Vinci has to play under that for the rest of the turn.
Part of the reason, you know, talking about World Championship players, Julian, who just qualified at the points playoffs, he was telling us part of the reason he thinks Malice is so threatening is everyone's main deck in 3 droll, and Malice is one of the few decks that doesn't really stop, but it does stop this deck quite a lot. It becomes much harder to assemble a strong end field.
Basically, he's forced to open his Ryzeal engine. He now has no way within the archetype of Mitsurugi just to dig into that stuff. He don't have to get through duo drive and whatnot, and so that could really shut down his overall sort of ceiling for the turn.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ceilings, it does help to have that Night Sword Serpent. Some duelists choosing not to play it, but it does give you a little extra push there. Now activating Mitsurugi Ritual, so it looks like we're going to go ahead and tribute to special summon Aminamoto no Mitsurugi from the deck here.
Another really important thing about draw and lock right here is that because he's under draw, the Habakiri will not summon itself back by being tributed because he's not able to add a card as well.
Yes, you cannot fulfill the entire effect, so you can't do any of the effect.
Here we're going to see a link summon. This could be for SP Little Knight, it could be for some kind of end board piece he's going for. The Serpent will get banished, so summon back using
Maybe
a
a
effect.
Fiendsmith engine?
Oh,
Diamondo, yeah.
That could threaten some board potential by bringing back the Murakumo during Joshua's turn. Oh, and then we see the
Oh.
Warrior coming down from Da Vinci here. He's playing sort of a mixture of sort of automat cards, Mitsurugi cards, and Ryzeal.
Yeah, I haven't seen this build, and that's the excitement of the deck. As I said it at the beginning, everyone has their own little variation of how they like to play it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the deck name alone does not tell the full story of the duel. You have to really peer into the deck list by seeing the person play. And even then, if it's card for card, they have completely different styles. We've seen so many different mirror matches throughout the tournament.
And then, of course, even with the automat, engine, sub-engine, you're not always locked into playing all of the cards. You can just run 3 Warrior with one of the Go Glove. Did I say that right? Go
Dwarf.
Go
Go
Glove.
Glove.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to just use my fingers every time. But you can just use it as just a sub-engine to get into your rank 4s. But we're still under the draw, so we can't go into the Ryzeals. It's just going to be the Baguska.
But that's a really great strong turn when you think about how conservative the Dynamondo, the Baguska, that is really defensive considering he got hit by the draw and lockbird.
That's a great point.
Here we're starting with Joshua with Fiendsmith's track. He's going to be threatening a lot of stuff to Da Vinci. It's going to be a really nice starter for him here.
Notably, this is also, depending on what else is in your hand, a lot of it's going to be links. So you're called a Fiendsmith Lurry. I think arguable you could call it, but Fabled Lurry.
Hey, there was some Fabled support this year. It's still a Fabled card.
You can do some of the Fiendsmith stuff with just link monsters. It does kind of get locked with Lacrima with the Baguska. So
You're going to miss out an effect there for sure.
yeah, we'll see how much Josh was able to do with just the Fiendsmith engine.
While under draw and lockbird, because after resolving the track, Da Vinci did hit him with that as chain link 2 to his Lurry.
Oh, he did.
Luckily, the Fiendsmith cards, if you don't get drolled on the engraver for the track, you're actually fine, because you don't do any more searching, but
his Goblin cards,
the Goblin cards, yeah.
So we see Requiem coming down, going to be activating that Lacrima probably to be getting the rest of his Fiendsmith cards like Engraver. Classic we've seen time and time again.
So imagine you're trying to push through just to be able to get through the Baguska, and then you would play any Goblin Biker cards you might have in your hand, right?
And so here we're probably going to go into Necro Quip, I'd imagine, and then you can use Engraver effect in Graveyard, because Baguska will only negate the field effects of monsters.
Yep, and then we can get access to a rank 6 if we need one.
Or a Link 2 probably, because Baguska really shuts down any of the rank monsters. They'll still go to defense mode, so we won't have enough like light fiends to go into a sequence play, but maybe we could do like an SP depending on what they have.
Going to activate Engraver by putting back a Lurry.
Yeah, so there's only going to be 2 light fiends in the graveyard after this all happens.
Kind of difficult there for sure, but looks like we're going to go ahead and bring back Fiendsmith Engraver, and now this is where the choices begin.
We might just summon SP Little Knight to like out this Baguska.
That's one of the classic
because
outs.
it does include a fusion monster there from the extra deck, so SP Little Knight, SP Little Knight.
Ooh, and we can use the Dynamondo arrow to summon it too.
sick.
That's fun.
That is fun.
And now we can actually kind of slimy the Dynamondo too by being able to get rid of the Baguska here and if he triggers Dynamondo, dodge it.
Oh, wow. Great card.
And he has a monster card in his hand too to prevent SP from responding to the droplets.
If not, let's see.
Because you can't chain a spell card.
Great break, a grand breakout.
All right, sort of a get out of jail card there, so we're going to go ahead and activate Goblin Biker Grand Breakout. Beautiful. And that means it's going to resolve because it's not face on the field.
Exactly. So it's no longer negated. We can get through the Baguska. We never normal summon. It's only the Dynamondo that we have to worry about now.
All right, Goblin Bikers, do your thing.
Yeah, this will be really interesting to see here. So I believe Grand Breakout, does the summoner add to hand? I forget
I believe
what
it adds to hand.
It is unfortunate though that we are getting
Oh, no, it does special.
It has to, otherwise.
Oh, yeah, the draw Lockford. What are we doing here?
And I forget, Droplet doesn't target, correct? So he can
That
still
is correct.
droplet this card.
He can,
So it's worth noting that like we're currently in chain link, I believe 3 here to activate the Grand Breakout.
That's right.
Got rid of SP. Now we're going to go Droplet, negate that monster, and then SP. That monster, by the
otherwise
way,
it's
is
why
mean
you-
merciless.
Yeah, it allows you to special summon a Goblin monster from your hand on summon. And in your main phase, you can detach material from a monster if it's in the graveyard, and then special summon it.
Oh, but there is the Goblin Biker's Gone Wild, being able to be normal summoned by using its effect. that allows it to be normal summon, and because it has been a normal summon, I believe now that Baguska is gone, he has the ability to summon one level 4 or lower Goblin monster from his deck.
Definitely cool to see Goblins at this high level of play. Usually you see Goblins paired with the Memento deck because there's that intersection between Memento and Goblin and the rest of the Goblin Bikers. But here, this is just Goblin Bikers going crazy.
They're going wild right now, as it says on the card right there. And all under droll still. Being reminded that Joshua tried to search. Da Vinci says, no, you cannot. But Joshua does still have multiple monsters on the field. Dynamundo is really... There's nothing in Da Vinci's hand. It's only the Dynamundo.
I actually just saw a little card in Joshua's hand by the name of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, so if he activates that Dynamundo, he's in for a rough awakening, I think.
But what a great choice, too. It is a level 3 monster itself. I did also see the Speedroid Terror top there, so this is obviously a nice little rank 3 toolbox trying to pick apart a rank 4 toolbox.
Ooh, and there's the Ghost Bell I was talking about! Making Dynamundo useless. Da Vinci now has no cards in hand, no cards on field, and Joshua has an army of goblins ready and raring to do some damage.
Dynamundo tried to tribute itself to special summon the Mitsurugi from the graveyard. Yeah, I'm gonna Marakumo, but not gonna pull that off.
But that was the right play for sure. Da Vinci doing just exactly what the game plan was, and most of the time you're only seeing the Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion in Vanquish Soul decks. So how could you predict that unless you kind of saw the commonality of the fact that it's level 3?
But it also hits a lot of other decks in the field right now. I actually do think Ghost Bell is a very effective card to be main decking. At least side decking, so I'm happy that we're actually seeing it in a feature match because I've talked to some duelists, some say, no, this is like a legitimate card you need to worry about right now.
Some people think about DD Crow, but DD Crow would not do much in certain situations, and this Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion just perfect to waste that effect.
So we're going battle phase here. We're swinging 24 with the Gone Wild and 16 with the Duck Charger.
I did, you're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Okay. Both players' responsibility to maintain an active game.
You know what that is, Da Vinci? That is a third place Dragon Duelist at a WCQ right there. Let's go.
Oh, yes.
He is keeping track of every lingering effect on the field, the Droll, the SP, all of it.
Sees the whole world under the tournament policy guidelines and definitely corrected his opponent there, but that's okay because we're just going to do a little bit of damage. We're in main phase 2, we're going to be able to do any damage anywhere, attack. So, let's see what we do with this Link Summon.
That's looking like...
Oh, no,
wow.
Wait. Did we put back the Requiem?
No, but we can use these to make sequence, because it's a light bean still.
You're right. You are right.
And now we have another Light Fiend in the graveyard as well.
Yes, so we can still end on Desiree.
Now we can get to the Desiree, yes, because the moon is that third Light Fiend.
But how are we going to get back into our Goblin engine? I guess we have Terror Top, which can normal summon, get you Takatop if you play, and then have a rank 3 that way. Because the big problem for Joshua here was that he was not able to summon Big Gabanga and get the search. Yeah. And just having Big Gabanga plus a Gone Wild is not going to be enough to stop Da Vinci on his next turn.
We have committed our normal summon here, so I think Joshua... Joshua's going to be passing with, I believe, just Desiree, but Da Vinci's on just the draw.
I did catch in the extra deck a Fiendsmith Agnum Day, so I was surprised not to see like the fullest extension of the combo, but he may be saving that to bring back the Fiendsmith Desiree later.
And he didn't have Lacquerman in the graveyard, so...
Yeah, he went for Engraver off the Requiem. But I think Joshua did a great job of playing through everything Da Vinci had and had just the right answers to stymie him to the point where now he's, like you said, Steven, on nothing. Set 1 and pass!
Yeah, I mean, this is a really tough position for Da Vinci. Joshua actually did a fantastic job of sequencing his plays.
There he is.
Wow.
The ultimate rank 3 engine toolbox.
And we're going.
That's enough. He's seen all he needs to see. So Da Vinci conceding there, conserving as much time, about 34 minutes left on the clock. Joshua taking the first game with Fiendsmith Goblin Bikers.
And now comes the question. Joshua takes game 1, but he showed the Goblin Bikers. Does Da Vinci have a side deck that will allow him to effectively shut down what Joshua was trying to do here? Because Goblin Bikers are not the most common core engine, like you had said. They're usually a supplemental engine for something like the Memento deck, but in this case, it does seem like it's a wider Goblin engine that he's playing into.
I mean, it's like even worse for Da Vinci because like a whole section of his deck actually plays into the Goblin Bikers when they go second. You know, the more these monsters you summon and leave on your turn going first, the more special summons and effects they now have access to.
I do wonder how much that's on his mind and how much you just say, okay, I'm just going to set up the Mitsurugi and then pass on that, because Mitsurugi alone is still strong. You have a lot of layers of interaction, and you don't have to go into all of your own Xyz monsters.
Da Vinci definitely an experienced duelist there, so we'll have to see if he's keeping all of those Goblin Biker effects in his mind. You know, maybe he was just thinking of as a progressive engine of cards that just attacks, builds big monsters. We didn't see any detaching Xyz materials, and it has been a long day, so he may forget. But I would imagine a duelist of Da Vinci's experience definitely knows what these cards do, and I would be curious to see if you're right, Steven, if he brings out just the ritual monsters.
And I did notice, too, that Droll and Lockbird was more than enough to turn off the Goblin side of Joshua's deck and make it less, impactful in overall explosiveness. But with how consistent the Fiendsmith engine is under Droll, usually after you use your first tracker, your first engraver, you can still play pretty fine under that kind of stuff. And so it's going to be really hard for Da Vinci to find that right balance of, okay, how do I interrupt this play / stop him from playing it? That might be tough to do.
Yeah, good point. But side decks have been sided. Duelists are now shuffling their decks, so we're getting ready for duel number 2. It's back against the wall here for Da Vinci. You're down 1 in this best of 3 series, and that would put you at 9-3. We're talking about that bubble. Not guaranteed, not really known what your future holds if you drop this one.
And if you're Joshua, you got to feel super confident. I mean, you broke Swerve. You went second in game 1. Now you're going second again in game 2. You feel pretty confident already. And then game 3, even if you lose this one, you can choose to go first.
And here we go, judges just making sure that the players are all set before we officially start game number 2.
Oh yeah, look at them. They're ready to go. They're like, let's get this going. I'm so tense right now. I need to make sure that we just win this and wait for the top cut.
I know Da Vinci has been in stressful situations at Dragon Duel and AWCQs, but this has got to rank up there in stressful duels in his career so far. But here we go. Game number 2, Joshua versus Da Vinci.
I mean, if he's been up on the feature match before, this might just be his childhood playground.
Maybe, yeah. You know what? Maybe I'm building this too much up. He's calling his cucumber up there.
But he does seem like he's taking this serious. There's no joke in here, so let's see what he does on his draw phase.
All right, so it'll be interesting to see how we lead off here. Last time we led off with Mitsurugi. Do we have non-Mitsurugi cards to start off with here? Ooh, and that's
yes,
the one right there in the X Ryzeal.
And again, this will start off going into Xyz, but you can always go just right into something like the King of the Paralimps and then get into the Mitsurugi. Leave your end field with as minimal Xyz monsters as possible, but we'll see what Da Vinci just chooses to do into the Goblin Bikers.
There's also a version of this where you just ignore the pressure applied by the Goblin Bikers' ability to attach materials. Maybe you make a big detonator and you just destroy a few monsters that show up after they detach the one material you have.
True. Also, very important there, Joshua had nothing on resolution, no Droll and Lockbird for this turn.
No Molcharmi Purulia either. It seems like
True.
he's just sitting on there. Maybe there's a Nibiru the Primal being at the ready, but Joshua basically staring down Da Vinci as he searches out his next Ryzeal, Ice Ryzeal.
Yep, so far we're just going through the standard line here. Having that Ryzeal dual drive already in the yard will be really nice for this first one that we're going to go into, because you can get that extra attach on top of being able to search for 2 more Ryzeal cards. Ooh, but there's the
Oh,
Ash.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting
This is
timing.
almost always when you want to use your interaction, especially if you only have one form of interaction in your hand, is stopping the duo-drive search is usually critical. It doesn't stop your opponent from playing. We have normal summon ice, but it at least makes sure that they can't get to something like that cross, which really can just shut down a lot of decks, especially things like Nibiru if that is additionally in your hand.
Well, Steven, you were talking about mitigating the amount of Exceeds materials on field. That Ryzeal duo drive sure does have
It's got a
3
lot.
materials.
It's got a couple. Yeah.
So plenty of things for the Goblin Bikers to sort of take off. I love the idea of them just like going by, like, I'm just going to take this Exceeds material off. You just yank that one off.
Be like, I'll take that robot, I'll take that robot, I'll take that robot.
These are mine now. These are biker parts.
And I believe I see in the hand there Da Vinci, the Mitsurugi Great Purification, so it looks like he drew one of his search targets to the Mitsurugi engine anyway.
So far, besides that Keeper Imps like you talked about, I don't see any other way for him to get into the engine. But that's something to also think about too, is because the Ash Blossom has already been used in the duo drive, now we can feel like Habakiri is going to be pretty safe later on in the turn.
Yeah. Da Vinci considering his next move here. Looks like we are going to maybe perform another Exceed. Someone as he picks up and puts down the Ice Ryzeal. Maybe not.
But yeah, using your 2 Ryzeal names right here, Node being one of them, makes it pretty hard to go for a Ryzeal detonator late in the turn too. So he's kind of have to pick and choose here.
Yeah.
But thanks to this Do Warrior, he might be able to act as, what's it called? Did I make you laugh with that one?
Because I like the gallop of Do, but yours is like it's like a ramp up, like
Well,
Do.
that's what he said in the shows. He goes like Do, and then I just added Do.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there's the King of the Feral Imps, by the way. There's a little bit of information kind of going. Oh, and it's Nibiru the Primal Being. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
The big old token.
This is why you ash that duo
no
drive. They
cross.
can't get to the cross. They can't stop Nibiru from coming down. An incredible 2-card combo to stop your opponent's turn.
I will say though, this is a gigantic token. I think it's like 12, 37 plus 23, so it's 5k attack for sure, and then defense is probably like, I don't know, at least 4k.
Well, props to you for doing math live on air. It's
That's
always
the-
dangerous.
that's
It's always
the-
dangerous.
They're all guesstimates. They're not exact. They'll say them later.
I struggle
Well,
doing math off air. But
Speaking of later, I think we are just past the turn. Da Vinci's going to go ahead and pass it on over.
Yeah.
So wild to see that a single Nibiru the Primal Being shut that turn down. Just very effective use of those 2 cards, locking the opponent out. And while there aren't any Exceeds materials on the field, there's also really not much to worry about except a single set card. So I think we're going to go and activate our Goblin Bikers Grand Entrance.
Grand Entrance is going to be a really nice start here to get the other main goblins added to the hand. This is the card that will unlock other things like maybe Duck Charger or things like Clatter Sploder. Once you get some more things in the graveyard. Lots of fun options here with this card.
Again, there's a non-zero chance that Goblin Biker fans are going to get to see a basically pure build advance into the top 64 of the NAWCQ.
Attack would be, does it gain original?
That's true. I believe it gains current attack, right? For Nibiru? Oh, it's
Original attack, yeah.
The attack will be 48
Plus 8.
plus 14. That's
14.
62.
62. I said 52.
62. Hey, that's okay. It's okay. Doing math live on the air is difficult, as Steven said.
All right, so there's the Grand Breakout.
That's fine.
Sorry, Grand Entrance.
Grand Entrance. They're all grand.
Breakout was when they did like a second card.
Yep. So we are going to search out the Goblin Biker here.
There's Gone Wild. That'll be a
Gone
good normal
Wild.
summon here and be able to summon another goblin from the deck, which with that Nibiru is 2 monsters.
Looks like the defense also is 5,600, which is huge too. Very relevant.
But with things like Big Abanga, we can always attach our opponent's monsters to it as material. And what happens if you attach a token?
I
It just like
don't-
disappears to the ether,
I
right?
don't think you
I don't
can
believe
attach
can,
token.
yeah.
Those are the 2 things you can't do. You can't banish it face down. You can't send it to the graveyard for cost, and you can't attach it as Exceeds material.
Could it be used for an XE summon? No, right?
No, because again, it's not really a monster. It's a token.
It can't exist anywhere not on the field. So it
Yes,
can't exist
that's
as
right.
material.
Exactly, yes. But here we go. Now we're using 2 monsters, like you had said, Steven, that we can go to Moon and Closed Heaven and straight into Fiendsmith.
We can use Engraver out this card.
You can, absolutely, because you can't send it to the graveyard. It's just you cannot send it to the graveyard for cost. Ooh, the Ash Blossom Joy Spring, slowing
That'll
things
hurt.
down.
That'll hurt a lot.
Oh,
wow.
there it is.
Doesn't matter.
It's time for some rank
Legendary win monster.
Dr. Tom Borg,
POG.
I'm very familiar with these cards. I've been playing Speedway quite a little bit actually ever since Spring
I
Gardens came out,
know
and they're
level
beautiful.
7 and level 6. And then one unknown.
You and your wind monsters, Steven, something about it.
I do love
There's
this
nothing wrong with win monsters. Don't be like that.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying he has a particular taste.
That's fair. That's fair. You're allowed to like win.
Yeah.
It's very
There's
underrated.
no
attribute.
animosity
I love the underdogs.
Yeah.
But there's
I'm
the
a
big
fireman
Gabonga!
myself.
Biggest Gabonga. That is a quarter-century secret rare if I ever saw one.
Gorgeous.
Showing up here with style.
On summon, that'll get another Goblin card added to his hand, and now we have some materials on the board to activate some of our other effects as well.
Nice to see the full showcase of the Goblin Micro effects. Right? We only get to see a little preview here and there until Da Vinci eventually conceded that game, but now Joshua has shifted into Turbo as we get the Duck Charger.
And then he searches.
And we still haven't done our normal summon, correct? We still have the Gone Wild in our hand.
That is correct.
Oh, have we not normal summon?
I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we have not.
The Terror Top
Is a special
That's
summon,
a
that's right.
summon, yeah. Did we? What did we use to make the moon? Was that Gone Wild or no?
No, that wouldn't be a light fiend.
No, to make the moon of the closed heaven.
Oh, maybe we did normal
Yeah,
summon.
because we had the Nibiru plus another monster. I think that was our normal summon for turn. Whatever that monster was, I don't remember. My brain is Teflon. All
Yeah, I
know.
believe we used. I think we used Grand Entrance.
Yeah,
to
because
search
he had
initially.
to have had a normal summon, right?
So this one is Goblin Biker Grand Bash, so we've gone through all the grands.
This one, Goblin monsters you control. It's a continuous spell, first of all. They all gain 300 attack for each Goblin monster you control, so a little buff. But more importantly, you get an additional normal summon.
There it is, and now we're an additional normal summon in the Gone Wild.
Yeah, so we were close. You just needed one more piece to get that normal summon.
And I was like, the Gone Wild is still in your hand, right? Like I knew it was in his hand the whole time.
So not to make you do math on a Sunday morning, but 900 attack boost to each of those goblins. Those are already big enough numbers, but not quite bigger than the 5,600 defense yet.
How many more would he need, Steven?
Well, that's another one right there.
I'm not even gonna try.
1,200. You are the math, Steven. Don't blame me. I didn't go to
We
math
need a
school.
Goblin Biker League monster for sure, which I don't think exists.
Yeah, 1,500 is the max you'd be able. Well, no, you could put Xyz in the extra monsters.
That's true. 18 boost.
Yeah. But 18, unfortunately, would require him still to have around a 30 300 or something like that.
So there you see the Cloud Exploder being read there by Da Vinci. It's kind of an interesting card. Basically, it's a reborn for goblins, and then during your main phase, quick effect, you can attach 1 XP for monster, and if you do,
What defense does that token have?
search summon it from the graveyard.
600, if I remember.
Yep, 5600 is right, Judge.
But are there anything in the rank 3 toolbox that can out this Nibiru token?
Well, there's always the SP Little Knight.
But then you can't attack directly.
Yeah, that wouldn't really feel good because you put all these monsters on the board with all this high attack power, but not be able to actually do any damage.
You also have the additional effect of Grand Bash. You can target your goblins and basically modulate their levels.
Or make one level completely out of
Yep, Josh can explain that right there.
Yeah.
Going to make that level 6.
Oh, are we gonna go for Crazy Beast?
I
Crazy
think we
Beast can
are.
destroy cards, right?
For a Goblin's Crazy
Have we
Beast.
Yes,
Yeah.
there he is. A beautiful common. We love that card. I play that card a lot in Malice, and I know very well how crazy it can be.
I think Da Vinci's about to find out as he reads through the card effect there.
I don't believe it has a way to out the token.
Yeah, you can target one spell or trap on the
Yeah.
field, detach your materials from any monster on the field, and then attach a target to this card.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna take the.
Attach the Doug and the
One from each there.
Yep, you can attach from anywhere on the board to use the Goblin Crazy Beast effect.
Oh, and he took the Great Purification. That kind of shows that the opponent had very little here, so if you're able to keep
Yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
you just need to get through your own Nibiru token.
I mean, we saw Nibiru tokens win entire matches on day 0. It's
So
definitely possible.
I imagine if we just go SP clear the token, the Crazy Beast can also come back from the graveyard by attaching a goblin in your graveyard to it as material. So
then
we can get it back on the field and then still clear the token and at least have interaction. You'll have the SP banish. You'll have still that back row kind of attach effect from Crazy Beast.
Yeah, and I think
Or
Josh was agreeing with
IP,
you.
okay, sure.
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, yeah, we don't necessarily need to deal with it right away.
Huh.
We may as well make Da Vinci, because if you get that token on there, it turns off some of the Ryzeal cards that he could draw into. Like X becomes not a searcher
Yeah.
anymore. So he could be saying, hey, if you try to attack me, I can just IP get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Goblin Crazy Beast will come back anyway.
None of these cards lock in X, Y,
Because it
Z.
comes back at any end phase, right? Not just your own, I believe.
will attempt to lead
For which effect?
For Crazy Beast to come back, it could be any end phase, right? Not just your own.
I believe it's just activated effect in the graveyard, not an end phase effect.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
says if this card is in your graveyard, you can special this card.
Yeah, so Joshua feels safe to go, I'm going to have IP here to interrupt whatever you're trying to do. This token, while it is scary, will not be
Do you have any battle
You
protection?
need something else.
Yeah.
Da Vinci did get another turn, though. It looks like we were just going to pass here, and so he drew and was just trying to play through. So I think the vibe is just to basically clear out whatever it is that comes his way, and then win
And
next
then
turn. So
yeah.
this is Da Vinci's moment. Back to the wall.
I can special summon him and put a Goblin underneath it material from the grave.
Da Vinci did ask an interesting question there as he was changing over turns.
And this
None of
time
these
no
cards
longer
lock you into
excited.
exceeds. Yeah, no, they're just fun.
Yeah,
They don't have that
Just
Ryzeal restriction.
all Goblins rare attack per Goblin I control. So right now this guy's at 3K.
3,000.
So we're going to switch.
Yeah, you can just go battle phase, threaten the
Right.
IP here. Yep.
We're going into main, and we are.
And he allows. So because if you IP go into SP, then main phase continues, and
Yeah.
Da Vinci can keep going. I think that Josh was saying, yeah, do it. I'll take the damage, but you don't get a battle phase to really do the rest of the damage here. Now it's main phase 2, Da Vinci can continue to play, and we still have the quick effects of Goblin's Crazy Beast to at least take it back row.
If he sets any, yeah.
Yeah, which you can do really funny stuff. Like if they prayers, you can take it, and then they can't like get it back in their hand.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. A lot of creativity here.
Yeah.
It's a quick effect.
Like they'll be able to. Oh, and it looks like nothing for Da Vinci.
Set and
We have to
pass.
leave main 2.
Effect of the Cloud Exploder in the graveyard to summon itself back by detaching.
Think you detach your own Goblin, or do you send the Mitsurugi Great Purification back to the grave?
You probably just give
Yeah, I
them-
think the
you
Goblin
have
makes
your own
sense.
Goblins in the graveyard, right?
And it's great because you know you were waiting to do that in case they do something like a prayers, and now you don't need the double materials because Crazy Beast has to send 2. Not gonna be able to do it anymore, but I think at this point you're safe.
And it looks like Josh was eyeing up that big Gabonga to summon back thanks to the Cloud Exploder. He can summon any Goblin.
Special summon, and then 2 Gone Wild target your set to attach it to my Goblin and use material.
Oh, it's any set card, including a monster. Da Vinci cannot believe his eyes as he picks up the Cloud Exploder.
Now, it won't be able to attach to the big Gabonga
That's
because it's
fun.
not in play yet, but it will be able to attach to Goblin's Crazy Beast. And we
All
just
you
took,
need.
we just took Go Glove.
Oh, Dodo Dwarf, Go Glove. I thought that was what's going on because earlier when the Do Warrior was used, it sent another copy of Do Warrior to the graveyard.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty of running the slimmer engine of the Automots is that sometimes you draw that one of that you don't want to draw.
Yeah, but now during the end phase, big Gabonga will activate to allow you to attach
Goblin from the deck to its material.
any Goblin from the deck as material. Couldn't say better myself, Joshua.
Wow. It looks like Joshua's actually fought back here. Da Vinci had a strong setup, but the Ash Nibiru combo from Joshua has allowed him to get a turn. It was stopped by the token that he couldn't get over, but now he's getting a second turn. Joshua surely will be able to do something to clear out this Nibiru token. It seems like that's the only threat.
I mean, besides access to his Fiendsmith engine, I don't know anything in the Goblin Xyz package that could out it other than an SP, but like we said earlier, if you SP, then you can't attack the game, and then Da Vinci gets another turn.
Which is the argument for why
Awkward.
last turn. If that's the only out, you gotta bite the bullet. We'll see.
It says any Xyz for monsters you control.
Could do a Fiendsmith combo that includes Fiendsmith Requiem being equipped to Fiendsmith Engraver and then just chunk the backpack at him. That may be the strat here.
Oh, this is an interesting question. I think the judge was clarifying. Can Goblin Beast take materials from multiple monsters, or can it only take 2 from one? And I think you can take from multiple monsters, like 1 from one, 1 from another. I'm pretty sure that's fine.
I have the reading in front of
Consistent
me.
with the theme.
You can target a spell trap on the field, detach two materials from a monster or monsters
Yeah,
on the
there
field.
we go. Perfect.
On the field, so you can take your opponent's materials and
Exactly.
detach
That's
them.
how, like that one card can out an entire detonator.
Yeah. That's incredible.
It really is.
3 material.
Wow, yeah.
All right, so I did see Ultra Brulia in hand there as we're picking up the extra deck. I think we are maybe going into Fiendsmith Paradise here.
You know what? I did see a Bawaku just kind of flash there in Joshua's extra deck. That could be a card. It's just a normal Link 4 requires a Fiend. He has plenty in play. Just go into that main phase, discard a card, blow up the token. But
Might be a bad call.
The hand to add a Goblin that can be attached to summon a Goblin from hand.
okay. So this will be an additional summon because he doesn't have XD monsters in play. This will get him some extra material that he could use here.
I feel like Joshua's pretty much sized up this game. It's just about finding the path to victory here, but Da Vinci may get one more turn after all and could bring this all the way back.
Well, we haven't ruled out to summon 6 goblins on the field for that 1800 attack boost, you know?
That is true.
It is not out of the question.
But remember, it has a bigger attack than its defense, and if he couldn't get over 5600 defense,
I have faith.
he's got some work to do.
62 is really big.
Also, just going to say, Grand Bash, I don't know how many he's running, but that attack boost is not, you could play multiples.
Ooh,
okay. Compounding. Let's see if it adds up.
What's your graveyard?
Unlikely. I'm going to imagine it would be SP Little Knight here, in all seriousness, to try and clear that token.
It's the most, like, resource-efficient way to get rid of it. Whereas
Yeah.
you go for something like a Link 4, like a Bow, you're committing 4 cards to get rid of 1.
But again, how funny would it be if we see a Grand Bash?
That would be awesome.
To add a goblin from graveyard to hand.
Okay,
So we're going to recycle some goblins.
Yeah, I believe we're using a different Grand Entrance that we had earlier.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. Give it back to the Dodo Dwarf Go Glove.
That is actually interesting.
Honestly, at this point, I think he wants him to XC summon, right? Because then he can Goblin Crazy Beast Quick Effect to steal your stuff. I believe he can target his own spell.
I believe he can as well. Let me just confirm.
Kind of taking the Bakura route. I want you to play into
a
this.
Speller Trap on the field.
Like, let him summon these monsters at that point.
Sure. Yeah, summon do a drive. Let me just take those materials from him.
What do I know in hand?
You know I have gone wild. That is it.
You have not normal.
I have not normal summoned yet.
All that without a normal summon.
I've not manipulated the level either.
Nope, no additional normal, no regular normal, no level modulation of Grand Bash.
And this is where we see, maybe in the Goblin Biker engine, not much, but maybe he's running other Xyz monsters, because being able to modulate levels.
Big Gabanga is a light fiend.
It is a light
It is a light fiend.
It is?
So you can go into the Fiendsmith Agnum Day
That is incredible.
Wow.
if you wanted to.
The materials are 2 monsters?
I think go for SP.
We're just going to give us...
I see Goblin Biker, Big Gabanga, Light Beast Warrior.
Oh, Beast Warrior.
Okay.
Warrior.
So we're using the SP Little Knight then to get rid of the token, which means that Da Vinci is going to get another turn here.
Okay, that's on me. That's on me. I was like so excited. I saw light. He's
I
on
know,
Agnum
right?
Day. I was like, how can
Yeah.
you summon Agnum Day right now? But he went for SP. Perfectly normal.
So at this point, we know he won't be able to attack directly. I would say SP clears the token, assemble as much as you can to stop whatever Da Vinci draws. Because that one card in hand doesn't seem like it's doing much. He just set a monster and passed on the last turn. So as long as we can create enough interaction that whatever Da Vinci draws for turn is not going to be enough, then Joshua's in a really good spot.
I wonder if Joshua thought that the reason why it was safe to attach the Dodo Dwarf Go Glove is that you already have 2 copies of Dodo Warrior in the graveyard.
I think we Dodo Warrior.
Either or, what are the chances we see a third Dodo Warrior?
Ah, a third option. I like
Nice
that.
little pauses there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we specialed Gone Wild using Mean Merciless's effect. And now we're going to use Gone Wild Special without a charger from the deck. Now we're going to add a spell trap. Is this the second Grand Bash? Do we have one? That'd be awesome.
That would be incredible.
Because we didn't use SP's effect on summon to banish. So
Okay, great.
Wow.
Oh, you're right. We didn't use
So we
the
can still
effect
attack.
Yeah, the
directly.
token's still there, so he may be trying to find a way to get rid of it.
So what are we doing here?
I mean, he has, I think, a line. It just requires him to have a fiend monster at some point.
I'm looking at the extra deck. There actually
I know
is
one in hand, correct?
a very unique option here. Actually, 2 that he could go for. No, actually, now that I'm looking, I think just one other option. I won't spoil it for anybody. Let's see if he's able to do it.
So
Oh,
here we have
Link
a Link
4?
4 potentially.
Hey, you're right.
There
it
it
is
is.
going to be
There it is.
Habaku.
Right. What was the fiend that he used? Was it? Oh, it was Mean Merciless. Mean Merciless is the fiend.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
some of the goblins are fiends, some of them are beast warriors. It's kind of like a interesting combination. Yeah.
So there's the about that I was talking about, but the reason he summoned SP was it was his only generic Link 2, unless he can save a monster, get the Mean Merciless in the graveyard. Very good resource management there from Joshua.
Wow, so we're just carrying the Grand Breakout to get rid of the token.
And hang on, how much damage do we have here? Because I believe Crazy Beast is 3k. Nice.
I think this is
I think
900
it's
boost
enough.
enough with a 900 boost on everybody. That should be enough.
25 plus 32, 33,
Yeah,
58.
and the about
3k. That's
Should
it.
be game.
That's
Goblin
GG.
Bikers have gone wild.
Woo! Joshua takes it 2-0 against Da Vinci.